Cancer. This is going to be your January through February reading for the beginning of 2020. If you are new, thank you so much for coming by. If you have been here before, thank you for stopping back in. I hope you guys are off to a really nice start for your year. Oh, okay. All right, Cancer. You guys had a really interesting 2019. And I think, let me move these down a little bit. I feel like the first maybe 4 months or so of 2020 are going to be really interesting for a lot of people. And I'm really excited to see what they do with this. Cancer, the Strength card coming up for you, and it has also come up for Sagittarius and Capricorn, whatever that means for you. I'm going to sort of tack these on over here because they also came up. All right, my dears. There's a lot. Cancer, there's always a lot going on with you, right? Let me pick a spot to begin here. A lot of emotional stuff. A lot. And I know the beginning of the year, especially new decade, can be really charged for people. But this is a lot. And of course, I know everyone's looking at the 2 cards here, but let's get there. Let's take our time when we get there. Cancer, I think you had some periods recently where you were really slashing through your friend group, your family group, and really making sure that there were fewer people around you who were causing you problems. This could have even been a relationship. And then I think you went through that period that people go through where maybe they go to the end of a relationship or a friendship and they kind of go back and forth, because it's very rare that a relationship is ever cut off completely. And then maybe you were wondering, should I have done that? Should I not have done that? For some of you, maybe you even went back and you were intimate with people that you would cut off. But I think you had some really nice breakthroughs where you knew that this process was necessary to get you to a better place. And I think for some of you, you were looking to really simplify your life. It had just become too cluttered emotionally. And for some of you, you were literally taking things out of your house, downsizing, really looking to simplify things. Maybe you were getting rid of things from exes or from old friends. Maybe you had them in an old box somewhere and you just took them for the first time in years and decided, I can part with this, I'm fine, and you got rid of it. But I see this potentially going a little far somewhere in the beginning of the year, because you have to understand that when you break a tie with somebody, it's like an elastic. So you pull it, when you let it go, or you cut it, you cut one end of it, it snaps back. So people don't warn people. They always say cut them off, or do your house cleaning, get rid of people. It's very, in my opinion, irresponsible that the people that talk about this, whether it be in the New Age community or the therapeutic community, they don't discuss with you or prepare you that there will be a sort of snapping back. And I think if more people were prepared for that set of emotions, they would be less likely to go and repeat the mistakes that they make. because they would say, okay, this sort of emotionally overwhelming period is natural, it's fine, and I just have to make my way through this. And then on the other side, there are these really beautiful things, to be had. So that being said, I think potentially, if you don't recognize, Cancer, that this is a period like that for some of you, and you don't ride it out or understand that this is where all of these emotions are coming from, you could potentially either repeat the mistakes that you made or reform yourself and reshape yourself in a way that will leave you feeling lonely or lacking and may potentially ruin a better relationship somewhere down the road. Or if not, will put you in a state of such turmoil that it'll be really hard. On the bottom of the deck, we have this beautiful space. It's so lovely. That's not only about family peace, or this is about inner peace as well. Just feeling really at ease, having a nice space in your life. And that's really, where you want to be versus this. See, versus this really, you're arguing with other people, you're arguing with yourself, you feel like you're the only one in the world, and that you have no one standing by you. It's just you on top of all of this conflict. So, Cancer, I want you to think about how can you get through this time, for those of you who this is happening to, and for this being what you need, because it will be a bit of a process. It doesn't go away in a day or a week. It's very different for every person. And equally important that when you get through this period and you reform some of your opinions or your thoughts, you want them to be better than they were. You don't want to sort of heal the wound over, and you have the scar tissue there, and it's there, and that's nice. You want to take care of yourself in a way where when everything heals, you can barely see that scar. It's there, and yes, it's a reminder, but it should be a reminder that you came through it better on the other side, and that you were also able to take care of yourself during the process. And that's very, very important. Very important. Right. You really want to be, this is so beautiful, 2 aces. And starting again. Oh, this is so beautiful, Cancer. See, this is what we want to do. We want to cut through all of the things. Oh, I don't know if you can see that, guys. Can you see it? There you go. You want to cut through all of these. I know there's a thought that in today's society we're so advanced and everything is accepted, but I don't agree with that. I think there are still social norms that rule people to the point where it's unhealthy. And I think this whole notion about healing can be handled in a better way. So you really want to cut through all of this noise about the way you should heal, or the time in which you should heal, or the steps that you should take, and understand that if you can be gentle with yourself, parts of you will spring up and they'll be so beautiful, and you'll have this new opportunity to begin again. Do not just blindly walk into a healing process that someone else has deemed the right way. It's fine to use as a guideline, but you want to really take in as much information as you can, and nurse these wounds, nurse these scars, because even though something is a scar, you can still treat a scar and make it less visible, and make that, when a scar is forming, you have these bands that are trying to close a wound, but also when the skin maybe, the wound is too big, then these little fibers will come in and form a covering. But that's still a really delicate process, and you still want to nourish that skin and nourish those fibers, excuse me, so that they can be soft and lovely and function the same way that the skin before it was. So, think about your mental spaces in that way. And I think if you can do that, Cancer, you're going to have a really an easier time. I think right now you feel like that place is maybe so far away you can never get there, but that, you start off small. And I think you're going to be in a really nice place if you can do that for yourself. Don't give yourself any timelines. Just go through that process in your own way. Cancer, I know you will succeed. So as always, thank you so much for sitting for a while. Take care.